Hey friends, Joey Resendez here. I went and got myself a new horn, but before I show it to you guys, let me give you a little bit of a history lesson on the saxophone. Um, there was a very famous saxophone player in the 20th century called, his name was Sigurd Rascher, and he was a German-born saxophonist. And throughout all his career, he played on Buscher instruments, and the reason behind that was because he wanted to play on saxophones that were true to Adolph Saxophone's design, um, that Adolph Sax put out in his patent, especially regarding the mouthpiece, which looks very different from most of the mouthpieces that are produced today. Most notably, the chamber or the inside of the mouthpiece. Um, Sigurd Rascher played on what he referred to as an excavated chamber mouthpiece. So if you look in through the back of the mouthpiece, it's just very big and kind of hollow. Whereas most of the mouthpieces I bet you guys play, if you're playing a Summer mouthpiece or Van Doren mouthpiece, it's going to have some kind of a smaller chamber in there. Well, Sigurd Rascher played on the large chamber mouthpieces, and he also played on vintage Buscher saxophones that supposedly stayed true to Adolph Saxophone's design. Those that combination of mouthpiece and instrument produced a sound that's quite strikingly different from the Summer instruments with the Summer mouthpieces and Yamaha and things like that. So he played on Buscher instruments for his entire career. And so he played, his alto saxophone, at least I know, was a Buscher New Aristocrat. And that's exactly what I went out and got right here. So this is a Buscher New Aristocrat alto saxophone, serial number 267453. And from what I understand, this is just a few, maybe only a couple of hundred serial numbers away from Sigurd Rascher's horn. His is gold plated. This is obviously not gold plated. This is a silver plated instrument. But it is quite a bit different from the instruments, from modern instruments. So it has a few features that aren't found on modern instruments, such as, if you look down here, let me get a little closer. You got the three pearls here and this extra guy right here. This is actually a G sharp trill key. If you finger a G sharp, this key will come up and you can just trill that instead of having to trill your pinky on the G sharp. Kind of weird. But a lot of saxophones back in the day had these. This instrument was manufactured around 1935, I believe. Also has a D sharp, a forked D sharp, so you could finger a D and lift up your middle finger, and that's a D sharp. It has a little extra tone hole on the back here that lifts up when you lift up your middle finger. I don't know how practical that is. I know lots of folks will just plug this up and never use it, but I have it, so I'm gonna use it. And this mouthpiece, this horn didn't come with a mouthpiece, so I went out and I bought a Mana saxophone mouthpiece. The Mana saxophone quartet is a wonderful quartet that plays exclusively on these vintage Buscher instruments, and with the large chamber mouthpieces, staying true to what Sigurd Rascher promoted. And there are also universities scattered about the United States where those that attend that university, a lot of them will play these instruments, and their teachers kind of were students of that school of saxophone playing. A couple that come to mind: University of Southern Mississippi, SUNY Fredonia up in New York, just to name a couple. And so you'll find that, and when I got this instrument, it was black. I mean, it looked like it had just been kind of sitting out for 90 years, and it was just nuts. But we got it. This doesn't even look like the same instrument. I mean, this cleaned up. I got it overhauled, new pads, kept the original snap-in resonators that were original to the horn, original springs. But I'm really happy with the result. It's pretty much all original. So Now, what does it sound like? It's going to sound quite a bit different from kind of what you're used to hearing. And I will say, if you want to hear great examples of this style of playing, go to YouTube, check out the Mana Saxophone Quartet. That's Mana, M-A-N-A. That's the brand mouthpiece that I'm playing on here. The Mana Saxophone Quartet. Check out the late John Edward Kelly, who was just an absolute phenomenal saxophone player. Check out other great saxophonists such as Dr. Don Espinosa. Who else? The Mana Saxophone Quartet, I said. Don Espinosa. The Rascher Saxophone Quartet, who the soprano chair, not the current soprano chair, but the soprano chair before the woman who currently holds it was Karina Rascher, who was Sigurd Rascher's daughter. So there are really great ensembles that play in this style. So be sure to check them out. Okay. So let me play a little bit for you. So it's going to sound a little bit different from what you're kind of used to. You know what? Let me flip to something over here. I have you on a music stand. Bear with me. So this is Handel's Sonata Number 3. This is a solo that I'm sure a lot of you have already played. And this arrangement was done by Sigurd Rascher, so it's a little bit appropriate here. So I don't know if that sounds like really different from what I'm used to hearing myself sound like. So I really kind of wanted to share that with you guys. So I'm gonna really kind of love this instrument for a couple of months or so, and then I think it's appropriate that I pass off this really great instrument to someone that's really gonna be studying in that school of saxophone playing, and let them enjoy it. So. But for right now, this thing's all mine, so I'm having a lot of fun playing it. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.